Travis Wingoodsell, take 2. I'd done this video earlier and ran into some difficulty finding things in the texts and found them, so let's try this again. So I came up with a new picture and wanted to demonstrate it, show it off. And so you've already seen it before seeing this, as it'll be the thumbnail as well. But Joseph Smith gave a speech, talk, discourse on 19 July 1840. Martha Jane Knowlton Covey did the scribing for this talk. So there are 2 versions, A and B. I tried to find the history of the church version, but finding the history of the church is now impossible on the internet. I have the history of the church. They're packed, because if you remember, I was threatened with eviction back in the day. I'm sure it had nothing to do with retaliation for the lawsuit. But in his talk, there are 2 things that are involved: the need to build Zion and New Jerusalem before the coming of Christ. It doesn't say Jesus Christ, it says Christ. If you go to section 103, verse 16, it says he's supposed to be a Mormon like Moses. And there are many other passages. Section 101 of the Doctrine and Covenants talks about his parable of the olive vineyard, and he goes over that in his talk in 1840. And yet this talk was not made a Doctrine and Covenants passage, even though it refers to section 101 of the Doctrine and Covenants. And this is where we get the understanding of the Constitution hanging by a thread. Joseph Smith, however, says, when the Constitution is upon the brink of ruin, this people will be the staff upon which the nation shall lean, and they shall bear the Constitution away from the very verge of destruction. Oops! Oops! Utah voted for Trump. Attorney General Sean Reyes is a part of that Texas lawsuit to overthrow America. Oops! Governor Herbert and Spencer Cox are murdering Mormons rather than following the example of Moses and keeping everybody home until this passes over. Oops! What happened? The enemy has come as a thief in the night and scattered the servants. Section 101. And so, yeah, there's some problems. I also found a list of prophecies. Apparently, while Joseph was in hiding and therefore not leading the church because of the assassination attempt by Orrin Porter Rockwell to murder Governor Boggs, Joseph Smith was the one who got in trouble for it, and therefore was not running the church, and yet somehow was giving revelations and sealing Heber C. Kimball to a third wife. He had 2 wives when he joined the church. He kept the second one a secret. But once Joseph was murdered, oh yeah, I got 3 wives already. Oh dear God. And so yeah, notice that as he talks about the redemption of Zion, which is from 103:16, the man like Moses, ties it in to the Constitution, to the same time frame for these 2 separate events to be occurring, and the need to build Zion, as section 45, is it 61 or 63, somewhere around there, talks about the need for building Zion. And I mean, we're witnessing the collapse of America. This is what Joseph Smith had been warning us about. And I've gone over with you astronomy in 1 Nephi chapter 1, about Lehi's dream. I see a sign in the heavens. Heavens are open to me. And Mormons think it's a real person giving him a book. It's a dream, guys. He's seen a sign in the heavens. Did you ever think to compare it to Revelation chapter 12? Oh, right. Bruce R. McConkie didn't footnote it to Revelation chapter 12, did they? For the 1981 version of the triple combination. And they didn't want me to be a part of the revision of the footnotes for what became the 2009 edition. So I didn't get to touch the Book of Mormon or any of the triple combination. It was just the Bible that they wanted me working on. And then they gave so much grief. Hey guys, Peter means seer in Egyptian. Let's put that in the footnotes. No, we already have people in charge of footnoting for the ancient languages. But Joseph Smith said that it's seer in the Joseph Smith translation. Wouldn't it be nice to connect it? No, we're not going to do that. So I guess you don't want Mary, which means beloved. And so when Heavenly Father says, "Behold my beloved Son, in whom I am well pleased," he's saying, "Behold my Son of Mary, in whom I am well pleased." Again, Egyptian. No. We have BYU scholars who are going to handle this. Just take out the topical guide, Bible dictionaries, and put in the guide to the scriptures. All right, well, shouldn't we therefore emphasize and remove homosexuality from the reason why Sodom was destroyed? No, it was homosexuality. Well, Ezekiel says no. There is nothing that says it was for homosexuality. No, we're putting homosexuality. But you said that we have to reference scriptures, not our own beliefs and opinions. No, it's homosexuality. Tamar was not a whore. No, she's a whore. She was following the Lord. She was following the law. No, she's a whore. So, yeah, too much grief. Too many errors still that need to be changed. I did get some stuff in, though. And so, the thing that has to do with my pictures has to do with his focus on Illinois. And B does not go into it as much. B is more for the Constitution. He does talk about the redemption of Zion is the redemption of North and South America. And those 12 stakes, supposed to be stakes in the plural, must be built up before the redemption of Zion can take place. Oops. And build when they were commenced. Pack. So, yeah, there's not, they don't really cover it. Oh, yeah, they do. And I prophesy in the name of the Lord that the state of Illinois shall become a great and mighty mountain, as a city set upon a hill that cannot be hid, and a great candle that giveth light to the world. The city of Nauvoo also, that's in Illinois, shall become the greatest city in the world. And so this is where I got the mountain city. We shall build up the city of our God. Men come to Nauvoo and help to build the city of our God. It's clear that Nauvoo was intended to be the place for Zion and New Jerusalem. Because bring up A. Yeah, the redemption of Zion is the salvation of this country, which is North and South America. Some consider the olive trees to be Jackson County, but one is not. 12, some have a temple begun, 12 olive tree estates. So no, the olive trees in section 101 are not referring to Jackson County. They are referring to the stakes of Zion. And let's see. Here's an interesting thing also from A. Then will kings, queens, rulers come and help build up Zion. Now remember, this is in the same time. Jerusalem must be built up Zion also, before the coming of Christ. Now they leave off New Jerusalem, but they're talking about America. They're talking about the kings and queens of the world coming to America to build Zion and Jerusalem. And Illinois is the state where Zion and Jerusalem are to be built. The New Jerusalem. And house ever Solomon did. It's temple like Solomon, which is why it's pyramids, mountain cities, not in Jerusalem. And yeah, that's that for that. So going to the list of prophecies in Wikipedia, I found that not only did Heber C. Kimball get sealed by Joseph Smith, that Joseph Smith apparently, while not giving such discourses, secretly gave such discourses about the saints moving to the Rocky Mountains and that there is no return to Jerusalem or Missouri. As I read to you from his 1840, it's Illinois, not Missouri. And so August 1842, while in jail at this time, before he then flees, or no, he flees, he's fled, have to go back to the Joseph Smith in jail Wikipedia page. But August to January 2nd of 1843, he's gone. He's not involved in running the church. And so how he therefore came up with, in the history of the church, 5 verse 85, can I click on this? No. Alright. The saints to settle in Rocky Mountains. I prophesied that the saints would continue to suffer. That's what I told you the church did to us in April conference about coronavirus. They were telling us we had to suffer. No. We're not supposed to suffer if we had a true church to lead and guide us. Continue to suffer much affliction and would be driven to the Rocky Mountains. Many would apostatize. Others would be put to death by our persecutors or lose their lives in consequence of exposure or disease. And some of you will live to go on and assist in making settlements and build cities and see the saints become a mighty people in the midst of the Rocky Mountains. Oh, isn't that great? Joseph Smith is a true prophet of God, isn't he? Yeah, I'm sure it had nothing to do with Brigham Young and wanting to go to the Rocky Mountains, and therefore needing Joseph to provide a prophecy to convince people to go. I don't remember Joseph ever giving that. Well, he was in hiding at the time. He gave it to me secretly. And so here's Smith will not return to Missouri. When Smith was captured by Missouri agents in Illinois, he stated that he would not set foot in Missouri again, either dead or alive. And, well, he did. In other words, somebody set him up to have him murdered and removed so that somebody else could take over and claim that he gave prophecies to move away and flee the country to Mexico territory, to the Rocky Mountains. Okay. The White Horse Prophecy. He gives it again May 6th, 1843. He's confirmed he's not in jail. He's back to leading the church again, stepping foot in Missouri. So yeah, you will see the Constitution of the United States almost destroyed. It will hang like a thread, as fine as a silk fiber, and ... No, don't put ... And it shall be preserved and saved by the efforts of the White Horse. And that the temple in Jackson County, Missouri. Oops. No. We already read Illinois. It doesn't say it's the Zion. It just says the temple will be built here. Okay. So we're good. Where is it written? Okay. So here's the White House. If you've seen Armageddon, it's not Bull. I can't remember his name. He wanted to stay in the White Horse. White House. Oh, White House. We can see what we can do about that. How's it been interpreted? See, they put in all this fluff stuff. George. Kobabi. principle is clearly taught? No. Don't. No. Just give us the prophecy. Don't tell us how to understand it. It's just a quick little thing. And so, very frustrating how he's not getting to it. He's trying to tell me how to think about it and interpret it first. Summary of prophetic standards text. Here we go. Alright. Now let us take a look. Now that I've brainwashed you into how I want you to think and feel, let's go over it. Edwin Rushton claims that in 1843, so it's all hearsay, he was with the prophet Joseph Smith and Theodore Turley when the prophet gave must have been the interest reported. So what was it? There was no real evidence that Turley was part of the God. The Diary of Roberts entry is as follows. Okay, here's something. On about the 6th of May, 1843. I wonder what really happened on the 6th of May for them to put 6th of May. Grand review of the Nauvoo Legion was held in Nauvoo. The prophet Joseph Smith complimented them for their good discipline and evolutions performed. The weather being hot. He called for a glass of water. With the glass of water in his hand, he said, "I will drink to your toast, to the overthrow of the mobocrats," which he did in the following language. Here's wishing they were in the middle of the sea, in a stone canoe with iron paddles. Yay, devil swallowed the shark. Yeah, this sounds exactly like Joseph Smith. I can see the pattern of linguistics that flows from other known established works of words of Joseph Smith. Oh, nonsense. Fair Mormon. So, yeah. The building of Zion coincides with the Exodus, obviously, and the destruction of America. And as I went over yesterday, the map and the strategies of what may or may not happen as a result of an attempt to form a union of states, all these prophecies of Joseph, real prophecies, not the hearsay ones, need to be factored in. That needs to be Mormon's goal, is that the church has no interest in doing this. They have no interest in building the mountain cities of Zion. They have no interest of leaving Utah and leaving the headquarters of Temple Square. They have no interest in saying, maybe we shouldn't be retrofitting the Salt Lake Temple with earthquake-proof protection. No, they're continuing on. They're purposely murdering you with this coronavirus, helping to spread and to escalate it. Again, yesterday was the numbers for the results of Sunday church service. So last week, and guess what? Oh, boom! Yay! Church is true because they want us dead. And I just I can't find the secret code to break down the wall of Mormonism. They're being murdered. And they all give hail to Nelson. They deny the Book of Mormon. They deny Joseph Smith. They deny Jesus Christ to give loyalty to Nelson because they don't want to accept that Nelson is false. And they think that Joseph, the Book of Mormon, and Jesus collapse if they deny Nelson. No, you can denounce Nelson. The Church of Joseph can still be legitimate, but you have to do your research. I've been trying to help you. Joseph was awesome. Not as awesome as his dad, who saved America single-handedly. So, you guys need to be thinking about it. And let's go over it as the finishing comment. We'll go over why we need to focus on Jerusalem. And we're already starting into that process of why, and we still don't have it built. Starts in 63. Okay. Ye shall hear of wars in foreign lands, but behold, I say unto you, they are nigh, even at your doors, here in America. Not many years hence, ye shall hear of wars in your own lands. This is it, guys. Wherefore I, the Lord, have said, gather ye out, build churches with one heart, one mind. I purchase an inheritance which shall hereafter be appointed unto you. We've gone over it's Illinois. And it shall be called the New Jerusalem. They have edited it to separate New Jerusalem, or combine New Jerusalem into Zion, rather than having them separated. But Martha Jane Knowlton Covey's thing leaves out New. And this is how we know it's supposed to be New Jerusalem and Zion, separate mountain cities. A land of peace, a city of refuge, a place of safety for the hard-hearted, stubborn, evil, corrupted saints of the Most High God. And the glory of the Lord shall be there, and the terror of the Lord shall be there, insomuch that the wicked will not come into it, and it shall be called Zion. And it shall come to pass among the wicked that every man that will not take up his sword against his neighbor must needs flee to Zion for safety. You can say you're not dead yet, as they keep chopping off body parts. Brave Sir Robin ran away. But you're going to give up your life. And you're going to claim that it's God's will. And just dumb. God's will needs to be listened to first. You don't just say, oh, I'm not going to do anything, and whatever happens as a consequence will therefore be God's will. I mean, couldn't you put a little effort into it? Maybe flip a coin as to what God's will is for you? But, I mean, this is how Mormons are behaving. And I'm sure they don't want to die. I'm sure that once they see war fill the streets of Utah, that they're going to go, oh crap, I need to get out of here. I don't want to be dead. I don't want my family to die. We need to get out of here. Where do we flee for safety, for refuge, for peace? Where's Zion? Zion has fled. It's gone. And there shall be gathered out of it unto unto it out of every nation under heaven. Who's going to do the gathering? Somebody with the keys of the gathering, right? That's Peter, James, and John, right? Elijah and Moses appear in the Kirtland Temple and give unto Joseph Smith the keys of Peter, James, and John. Seriously? Elijah and Moses had higher keys than Peter, James, and John. And yet Nelson takes his photo. Hey, I've got Peter's keys. I'm stealing them. I'm the ruler of the world. No one dares to molest or make afraid. And so, yeah, Zion is the only place under heaven, the only nation, the only people that shall not be at war one with another. Because nobody will come up to Zion. It's prophesied that anybody who attempts to fight against Zion will be immediately destroyed. Hey, you're supposed to forgive and forget. You can't judge me. You're not supposed to implement the death penalty on me for trying to murder you. Aren't you liberal snowflakes who don't want the death penalty? So yes, it's amazing what happens when justice is applied. And so yeah, this is why we need it. This is why we need the Exodus. But we need Pharaoh to say, you may go. Enough of the house of Ephraim have been destroyed by coronavirus to justify the Exodus. But, again, the Union of States, if you don't remember your Civil War sides, the Union were the good people. Interesting how the Confederates are now wanting to be called Union. So, there you have it. Picture's awesome.